This guy's about to go to jail because of you.
As the judge over the General Sessions Drug Court,
Take her into custody. No. This is a voluntary program. You don't want to do what we ask you to do, you go to jail.
Casey Moreland depends upon his probation officers to help keep the people who come before him honest.
I'm not mad at you, but you just need to tell me the truth.
And it's his job, the judge insists, to keep his employees honest.
If they work at my pleasure, if I hire them and I can fire them, that I should be the one to supervise them.
I'd like to talk to you about your work habits.
Yet what we discovered from watching probation officers Jimmy Wagner
I can't talk to the media.
and Scotty Yates raises questions about who's watching out for taxpayers.
Are you ticked at your employees, or are you ticked at yourself?
Absolutely. Both.
We've pulled your timesheets, and I'm just curious, do you just make this stuff up?
Make what up?
Like the day Wagner claimed he worked a half day, then took 4 hours sick leave. But we watched his drug court vehicle all day long, and it never left his house. Then, just before 2, the probation officer returned home with his golf clubs in hand.
Does golfing make you feel better?
I don't have anything to say.
So where was the supervision on that day?
Well, I can't supervise my employees when they're not at work.
Then there was the day that Moreland admits he knew Wagner was at home digging up a water line in his front yard. The timesheet he gave the judge listed it as a sick day.
Were you just sick of working for taxpayers?
Had no comment, Mr. Williams.
He marked it as a sick day as opposed to an annual day, and he should have marked it as an annual day. He made a mistake. Did I look at that piece of paper when he turned it in? No.
And there were other days. Days when Wagner's timesheet claims he was working when he was actually running errands and doing all sorts of things other than work.
You can't keep the record like that. You got to be truthful on your records.
Does this say something to you about his truthfulness?
It makes me think, yeah.
We've seen you at home by 1:30 or 2 o'clock some days that you've said you put in full days.
I can't talk to the media.
And what about the days when Scotty Yates claimed he was working?
Should I have checked his leave slip? Yeah, I should have.
We twice spotted the probation officer out riding his Harley when his timesheet showed he was at work.
So does Judge Moreland know that you're not putting in full days?
I can't talk to the media.
Do your employees ever work at your house?
No. Oh, like I may go work at their house like you do with friends? I'm sure.
During government hours?
No, I wouldn't think so.
But our hidden cameras caught Yates at the judge's house during court hours, hauling off what appeared to be junk from Moreland's garage.
He wasn't there to do that. But I asked him, since his truck was there, if I could throw. They were just blocks about that big.
So why was he at your house?
You know, I don't recall, but I've got a truck. I don't need people to haul things off for me.
On that day, Yates did take a half-day's leave, although Moreland now says he never went to work at all. And it turns out he was also there another day, as the judge was pulling up these old shrubs from around his house.
He came by my house when I was there pulling up shrubs, and he just jumped in and helped.
And he was on city time. He did not take that day off.
Well, he should have.
But you're the one supervising whether he does or not.
I understand. He should not have claimed that time. They have never been allowed to claim time that they're not at work.
I think you need to worry about yourself, Mr. Williams.
In fact, there have been questions about Moreland's probation officers, especially Wagner, going back a decade, according to memos written by the head of Metro's probation office. It is apparent that they consider this work part-time, one reads. Another calls them nothing more than personal valets to an elected official, something that the judge denies.
Are you the best person to supervise them?
I will be from this day forward.
And the judge promises these images will be a thing of the past.
As long as I've got Phil Williams around town to look over my shoulder, I'm sure you won't be doing a story on this again.